Hi friends. This week, I'm going to be trying out a few more plushie type craft kits. I did one a few months back that was difficult, to say the least. But I've been seeing these plushie craft kits around. Sometimes it's called fabric by number or 3D fabric. Sometimes it's called fabric art or poke art. I think that they're essentially all the same sort of thing. You shove a small piece of fabric into a little hole, and that's what gives it the plushie look. But I kind of wonder how hard it is to do and how durable they are. So I got a few different ones to try. One is a poke painting, one is a pillow, and one is a plushie. I'm nothing if not willing to throw my time, money, and sanity away so that you don't have to. So let's see how these craft kits stack up. The one I'm going to start with is this educational poke painting kit. Not sure what exactly is educational about it, but I guess we're about to get schooled. Based on the pictures, it looks like it's exactly what I think it is. It's got little pieces of fabric that you poke into the picture. There's a bunch of these online, but I picked this one because I think the hedgehog is cute. Nothing on this box is in English, so I can't understand any of it. Except that it's for creatures 3 and up. Let's open it up. There's a bag of teeny tiny pre-cut fabric pieces. This little tool that I'm assuming is the poke tool. And here we have all of the pictures. Lady, princess, another princess, flower, bunny, butterfly, lamb, hedgehog, cat, and duck. And absolutely no instructions. Are these the instructions? Google Translate to the rescue. Pearl cotton can help with creation. Don't throw it away. What the heck is pearl cotton? Is that this thing? That's not cotton. That's like foamy packing insulation. Place pearl cotton under stamping board. Choose your favorite fabric. Use poking pen to poke the holes in the fabric. The finished work can be torn off and used to decorate books and bags. How? Okay, here's my pearl cotton, and I'm going to do the hedgehog, obviously, since he's the reason I got this one. It doesn't specify colors except my favorite colors, so I guess I can pick. I actually like how it looks in the picture, so I'm just going to follow that. Do I have enough of the blue? Let me just spend 20 minutes sorting these fabric pieces. It's part of my obsessive compulsive nature. You know, like when you sort your M&Ms and fruit snacks before you eat them? The real question is, do you eat them in rainbow order or do you eat them least to most favorite color? After sorting the pieces out, I'm going to use blue for the hedgehog and red for the apples. I guess you could call this fabric by definition, but it's mostly like shiny foil with a sort of woven netting on the back. Since I'm over 3 years old and should be able to figure this out, I'm going to say that the best way to do this is to go with the shiny side up, put the pointy end of the tool in the middle, sort of wrap it around, and just stab it into that hole. This craft moves pretty quick. It does remind me of those art projects you'd make in elementary school, you know, where you wrap tissue paper around the end of a pencil, dip it in glue, and then put it on paper. I don't know why, but I loved making those. Maybe it's the texture or something. I just want to rub my hand across it constantly. I would make one right now if I actually had a reason. Oh my god, I really want to do that now, but make a giant one. Who am I kidding? I don't need a reason. Wanting to is enough of a reason. I have so many ideas now. Anyway, this picture is done. That went really fast, like 8 minutes fast. It's pretty cute. I popped it out and now can apparently decorate a book or a bag with it. Not sure how I would do that, Let's see how secure it is. I guess it's pretty secure. The next one I'm going to do is this rainbow pillow kit. This is by a brand called Dream Kids, and it calls itself a fabric by number. This is actually the first one that I bought, and yes, the box came completely beat up like this. There's a lovely tag on this side, so we can't actually see what's on the box. Let's just open it up. Here we've got the pillow, which seems like a nicely made pillow. It's stuffed pretty well, which I honestly wasn't expecting. This sort of vinyl-y piece on the front has the same sort of pre-cut Y incision holes in it as the pictures in the last kit did, and they're labeled with numbers. So I guess that's where the fabric by number name comes from. Here's a bag with all of the fabric pieces, and there's no instructions. See? Nothing. How do you not have instructions? How do I know what color each number is supposed to be? I mean, I guess I can figure it out, but seriously? I guess I'll just go off the picture on the box. The clouds are 8, so I guess 8 is white. And then the rainbow is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink. Oh, I'm stupid. It's right here. But this right here is the entirety of the instructions. No words. And this is the little pokey poker tool. Okay. Let me just sort all these colors again. The fabric is sort of fuzzy on one side and a little shiny on the other. But it is actually fabric, even if it's pretty thin. So I think as I start putting fabric on, it's going to get harder to see what I'm doing. And since it's going to be a little tighter down here, I'm going to start with the bottom of the rainbow and then move up where it's more open. And then at the end, I'll do the clouds. So I'm going to flip this upside down and go this way. Let's see. I'm just going to try to center the fabric and kind of hold it around the tool and just punch it in. There we go. I'm not sure how far these need to go in, so I'm just shoving them in as far as the tool will go. Speaking of which, why is this the design for the poker tool? Why is this the best design for it? Oh well. These fabric pieces do actually feel pretty secure once they're in. I pulled on them a couple of times and even pulled a piece out completely just to see how hard it was. And I actually did have to give a good tug to get it to come out. This was pretty easy and went really quickly. The only minor struggle was in the area with the red stripe. Since it's the edge of the pillow, there's not as much stuffing behind it to offer resistance. But come on, even that was not a big deal. Here's how it's looking so far. There's no blank spots, and the pieces are in there really good. I can even lift and shake it a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to pull on it super hard, but they aren't coming out on their own. Let's finish up the clouds. This was actually much faster because I could see through the fabric. So I could just center the fabric over the hole and punch it in without bothering to wrap it around the tool first. I know that saves like 2 seconds of work, but still. And it's done. I'm so pleasantly surprised because I for sure thought this kit was going to be kind of cheap and crappy. But it's so cute and I can't stop rubbing it. And it only took like 45 minutes to do. I think these things are in here pretty good, but let's test it. I shook that thing as hard as I can, and the only thing that came off was a bunch of fluff. Nope, these things aren't coming out. That's a good kit right there. The last kit I have to try is this Plush Craft. This appears to be some kind of plushie kit. It just says, pop in the plush. This brand has so many different options for these, and they have pillows too, which I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to make a million pillows now. Anyway, I chose this panda kit. This one says it's for 5+, so luckily I still make the cutoff. I'm not gonna show you the back because it's got my address on it. Oh god, we have another terrifying looking creature. I'm having flashbacks to that soulless koala. Let's just dig in. We've got a bunch of little pieces. Oh, great. More eyes to pop in. All the little pieces of fabric. Oh my god. What is that? It's scarier in person than it is on the box. And no instructions. Why doesn't anything come with instructions? They just assume I know how to do this? I guess these are the instructions? 1, 2, 3. But why for 2 there's eyeballs, and then for 3 you're putting in the eyeballs? Do I put the eyeballs in and then take them back out? That makes no sense. Why has not a single one of these had instructions? Are you allergic to instructions? Are they under the sticker? Alright, well, let's take a look at this abomination. This is like, I want to say, I don't know what this is. It's hard, but this part's a little squishy. That part's not squishy. It's a little foamy feeling. I'm so confused. And here we have, this looks almost exactly, look at that. They are exactly the same. The same goofy, smiley face on the flower and everything. Is that just like the universal design for fabric pokers? We also have eyes, a nose, that goes around the eyes, and this is ears and the tail. And a bow? Oh, okay, that goes on the head. And then we have all the fabrics. The fabric in this kit is the same as the last kit. It has a soft fuzzy side and a little bit shinier side. And then there's some pink shiny ones and some polka dotty ones. I guess I'll sort these while I come up with an instructionless plan. Okay, now that I've sorted them all, one thing that's kind of bothering me is that a lot of the white pieces have black fluff on them. It's not like that big a deal, but it does bother me. So I kind of want to be extra and clean them off. But it's going to be such a pain. But I really want this to be cute. Even though I have no idea how I'm going to actually do it. This is going to take forever. What if I just do this? I'm an idiot. Okay, I will spare you watching me actually lint roll all of these, and I'll be right back. Okay, now that those are all clean, I may have discovered instructions stuck against the side inside the box. It has all of the areas marked with numbers and a number key down here. So I guess I do them in the order of the numbers. Yay for instructions. I take back everything I said about you. Except for calling this gal an abomination. Okay, I'm gonna start with these polka dotty pieces around the eyes. Recommended fabric spacing is like... Okay, I'm just trying my same method as before of wrapping the fabric around the tip and just poking it in. It's a little more confusing because there's no pre-made holes and I can't really see exactly where I'm stabbing it in. so I can't actually tell if the tip of the tool is staying where I put it down or if it's just sliding along, making the previous hole bigger. Because sometimes it kind of feels like that's what's happening. I'm trying to avoid the spot in the center where the eye will eventually go, but I can't really see that well. I did try to pre-dent the foam with the tool to make sure it stayed where I put it, but that was taking too long for me. Okay, that looks terrifying. Next is the little cheeks. Whatever this thing is made out of, it pushes in a little easily, so I kind of crushed the cheek areas. Hopefully you can't tell when it's done. And then I just kept moving on in number order. Most of this went pretty well. A few times the poker would actually just stab a hole right through the fabric and I'd have to redo the failed punch. And once I brushed my hand over the cheek area and loose fabric popped out. But I just doubled up the fabric to make it a tighter fit. But 99% of the punches went in and stayed in without a problem. The problem that I'm having with this kit is sort of the same one that I had with that koala kit. Because nothing is actually marked on the form, it's up to me to decide the size of the color areas and the spacing of the punches. Which probably has to do with how hard and costly it would be to mark all of that, but for someone who overthinks everything, it's a struggle for me. I couldn't really tell if I was spacing the punches out correctly, if they weren't close enough I'd have bald spots, but I was afraid that if I punched them too close together, the whole structure would just come apart. And as it gets more covered, it's harder and harder to see. I think I did pretty well, because for almost all of the colors, I didn't see any blank spots, and I ended up with a few extra pieces. Except for the white. I don't know if I made the white areas bigger than they should have been, or if I spaced them too close together, but I ran out towards the end and there were very obvious blank spots. So I ended up pulling a few pieces from other areas and at least covering the front where you can see. Next, it was time for the eyeballs, and these were about as much of a struggle as I thought they'd be. I'm not sure it's even in the right spot, and it does not feel super secure, but I jammed those things in there as hard as I could. I feel like she looks scarier with the eyes. I had to pre-punch a hole for the nose because I could not get it in. Her face looks wrong somehow. The inner ears have a little sticky back to stick onto the outer ear part. And I'm not exactly sure if this is how you're supposed to do it, but after I made the initial punch, I pushed the entire circle on the bottom into the hole that the punch created. It seemed to work, so I did the same for the tail. I'm sorry, ma'am, this is uncomfortable for both of us. The bow just sticks on with some sticky Velcro, and she's done. Ta-da! She's pretty cute, if not a little weird looking. I think it's something about the eyes. Luckily, her bald spots are on the back. Let's test it. Oop! Her eye flew out. Told you it wasn't secure. I guess we won't assault her anymore. She's definitely not what I would call plush. And she's a little derpier looking than the picture on the box. But she's still pretty cute and much easier to do than my Yarnimal friend. So that's all 3 kits. Ultimately, I did like them all in different ways. And they gave me so many ideas for what you could do with this sort of technique. Overall, the pillow was my favorite. So what do you think? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.